Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my dear girls of grade 6? Inshallah, now I'm going to help you revise for the final exam tomorrow. The lessons included in the final will be Unit 3, Lessons 1, how the geography of the Middle East has changed. We talked about the layers of the earth, and we talked about weathering and erosion and how they help it to change and form the geography of the Middle East. Lesson 2 was about how the Middle East was a desert environment and how people adapted to this to the life in the desert thousands of years ago. Lesson 3 about the not the economics of the Middle East, population. We talked about population and how population distribution is different and the factors for it. We talked also in lesson 4 or the last lesson about the market economy. Now let us start with revising some questions about lessons 1 and 2 in unit 3. Bismillah. Here you have to identify the layers of the earth. The first one is the crust on which people live. We live on the crust, the mantle, the outer core and the inner core. The inner core, or the last one, is a ball made mostly of iron. You should identify the layers of the earth and what is very special about each one. Here, this picture, this is a plate. This is plate boundary, or the line that separates two plates. This is the center of the earthquake, which is called the epicenter, and the zigzag line shows how shakes move outward. This is a picture, or this diagram shows how earthquakes happen. These two pictures talk about kinds of erosion. This is a man-made erosion. Can you see the steps of the people? The steps of the people created this path among the mountains. And this is a coastal erosion, when the waves of the ocean or when the waves of the sea hit the coast and cause the rocks and the soil to be broken into small particles. We call this coastal erosion. Now let us complete using words from the list. Mostly these are definitions and you have to identify each one. First one, crust. The crust is outer layer of the earth, which is very dry and hard. People live on the crust. Magma is thick molten rock flowing under the ground. The very hot liquid rock under the ground is called magma, but once it came out to the surface of the earth, it becomes lava. Plate is a very large flat piece of hard land. And of course, you know that the surface of the earth is divided into some tectonic plates. The surface of the earth, or the crust, is not one piece. It looks like jigsaw puzzle. The one piece is called a plate. Epicenter is the center point of the earthquake. Boundary means edge or border. The line that separates two plates is called plate boundary. Deserts are places that receive less than 25 centimeters of rain every year. Physical weathering is the process that breaks up the rocks by weather conditions. When the rocks are broken into pieces because of the heat of the sun, the snow, the ice, the rain, all these are weather conditions. So the weathering and the breaking of the rocks done by these weather conditions is called physical weathering. Physical weathering. But the process that breaks up the rocks by the chemicals released from the roots of the plants, this is chemical weathering. When the roots of the plants help to break the soil and break the rocks and the soil into pieces, because in order for the roots of the plants to penetrate and spread everywhere under the soil, they had to break and cut their way in the land. They release chemicals for this, and this is chemical weathering. Volcano, number 10, is an eruption of molten rock from beneath the Earth's crust. Right types of erosion. When the waves wear away the base of cliffs, this is coastal erosion. It is related to the waves of the sea and the waves of the ocean can cause coastal erosion. Done by glaciers which move like slow rivers, this is glacier erosion. True or false? Most of the Middle East is desert environment, not another kind of environment. The desert landscape of the Middle East has been shaped by water and wind. That's true. 3. Saudi Arabia sand dunes move about 24 meters every year. No, it moves about 14.6, not 24 meters. People could not live in the Middle East thousands of years ago. No, people lived in the Middle East thousands of years ago. And you know that the first people who lived on earth, they lived in the Middle East. 5. Salt, not sugar, was very important for keeping meat and milk in the desert environment, and using salt was a way to adapt to the desert life. 7. Write 3 ways in which people could adapt to desert life. You have to read page 89 and understand them. There won't be an essay question about them, but I just want you to know how people adapted to the desert life. One way is number 5 here, is when they used the salt to keep the meat and the milk in the desert environment. There are other ways, for example, when they kept some camels or goats or sheep, because these animals can live and enjoy life in the desert, when they cut or built their homes in the mountains. All these are ways in which people could adapt to desert life. Now we are going to revise questions about the next 2 lessons, population and market economy. Where 1. Name 3 factors of production. The factors of production which are used to make products, which are used to make goods and services. Labor, or the work that is done by people. Capital, the money and the buildings or the machines. Land resources and the human resources. How can scarcity affect the prices? It can make prices go up. 3. Why are population growth rates are lower in the developed countries than in developing ones? Because families in developing countries like to have more kids or more children. 4. Compare between the population growth rates in the developed countries and the developing ones. Of course, the population growth rates are higher in developing countries, and we said because the families there like to have more kids. 5. What's market economy? I want here you to define the market economy. It's the marketplace where people and business exchange goods and services for money. 6. What's the differences between goods and services? And this is a very important question. Goods are anything that you can buy for money. The clothes, the food, the bags, the makeup, the machines, all these are goods because we pay money to get them. Services are things done for us by other people. Services are not things that we can take in our hands. They are things done for us by other people. When the teacher teaches you, this is a service. When the mechanic fixes your cars, this is a service. When the doctor helps you when you are sick, this is a service. When the nurse takes care of you and gives you medicine on time, this is a service. No? Now I know you should know the difference between goods and services and study this very well. 7. Do you think that the countries with rapid growth rates of population, of course, can face troubles? Yes. Give examples. Of course, the countries that have rapid population growth, then the countries in which the population grows very quickly, they can face many troubles like limited food supplies and lack of jobs or limited jobs. There won't be enough jobs for all people and the food will not be enough for all people. These are some of the troubles that they can face these countries. 8. Why are some places are crowded with people while other places have very few people living there? Of course, because some places have pull factors that attract people to live in them, and the other places have push factors that make people leave them. And we are going to discuss push and pull factors and examples of them now. Here, pull factors attract people to live in an area because they pull people to live here. Push factors make people leave an area. Factors of production are used to make goods and services. Population is the number of people living in an area. Population distribution is how people are spread out in a region. Supply is the amount of goods in the markets. 7. When supply goes up, prices go down. And here I want you to remind you of something. Supply and the prices are opposite each other. When one of them is up, the other goes down. But demand and the prices go up together and go down together. 8. Demand is the number of people who need the goods. 9. When demand is up, prices go up. I told you before that demand and the prices go up together and go down together. 10. Raw materials are the natural resources that can be made into products, like cotton when it is made into cloth, like wood when it is made into furniture. True or false? 1. An economy is a system of giving and taking away goods and services? No, it is a system that makes, distributes, and offers goods and services, not like this. Scarcity means that there is too much of something? Of course no, because scarcity means that there is not enough of a resource. 3, when supply increases, demand increases. There is no relation between supply and demand, by the way. So this is false. 4, people are usually spread out equally. No, they are spread out differently. Some places have a lot of people, other places have very few people living there, other places no people live there at all. 5, the world's population is growing faster than ever before. Yes. 6, the population growth rates are higher in developing countries than in developed ones. Yes. Countries with very rapid population growth can face limited food supplies. Yes, and other problems, of course. Dependent groups can support themselves. Dependent groups here means the very young people and the very old people. Of course, they cannot support themselves. They need others to help them and support them. 9, when supply is down, prices go up. Yes, we say supply and the prices are against each other. When one of them is up, the other is down. When demand is down, prices go down. Yes. All goods form part of the market economy. No, not all the goods. Only the goods that are exchanged for money. Scarcity can make prices go down. No, when there is a scarcity, prices go up, because the scarcity means that the resources are not enough. The matching table. Population is 1D. What is the number of people living in a country or living in an area or living in a region? Economy. Economy is a system that produces, distributes, and consumes goods and services. Population distribution is the way people are spread out in a region. Population density, when I say density, you must say per square kilometer. The number of people living per square kilometer is related to density. Market economy is the marketplace where people and business exchange goods and services. Industry, 6 is B, producing goods usually in factories. Growth rate is the rate at which population gets bigger and grows. Raw materials are the natural resources that can be made into products. Question 5, choose. Factors of production are used to make goods and services. To human resources include scales. Warm climate is a pull factor for population. So, because if the place has warm climate, the people are attracted to live here. Weak currency is a push factor for population, because the place which has weak currency, people do not like to live in a country with weak currency. In the year 1 AD, the world's population reached 200 million people, and that is very special. Here, very young people need education. By the way, 7 is a mistake. There is a mistake for 7. Of course, the factors that attract means pull people to live in an area and make this area very crowded. These are pull factors, not push. I'm so sorry for this mistake. 8, push factors make people leave an area, so few or no people can live there. Here, capital includes money, machinery, and building. This is capital. 10, scarcity is a situation in which a supply is not enough for people. And when we have a situation like this, prices go up. Supply and demand are market forces, because they can push the prices up and down. Thanks for being with me. I hope that you will get the best marks. I trust you. You are smart and clever girls. Thanks for being with me, and goodbye till we meet again. But maybe this will be the last and the end with me. I was so happy to teach you through the primary stage. Thanks for being with me. I hope that I was a nice teacher, and sorry if I annoyed you at any time. And I hope you and I wish you a bright future, my smart girls. Thanks for being with me, and goodbye.